CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
For what we're seeing on a day-to-day basis, a lot of clients coming in.
Record-setting prices continue to soar, and as the value of precious metals climb, shops that buy and sell are feeling the boost. Good evening. Are you sitting on a gold mine? Well, you could be as gold and silver prices continue to rise. But the question, who is reaping the benefits? Let's go to CTV's Luke Samard. He joins us live tonight to start things off. Luke, how are businesses handling this surge?
Well, Sarah, as gold and silver stocks continue to inflate, so does the willingness of people looking to cash in. The roller coaster market for gold and silver is under the microscope. And as stocks continue to rise, jewelers say it's been a wild ride for those who trade in gold.
Gold prices, they're historic highs. They've maybe fluctuated a little bit, and even on a daily basis, they're fluctuating, 5 to 10% in the course of a day.
As the metals continue to rise, so does the willingness to sell. But it comes with a catch with each day that gold prices continue to go up.
Gold in its purest form is, 24 carats, so we've been looking at lesser carat gold for clients that maybe can't afford the higher carats. We've gotten into, we're selling a lot more sterling silver this year just with the price of gold the way it is.
This is worth around $4,000.
Barrie Gold Buyer continues to see an influx of people wanting to trade in their prized possession. Some dealers not wanting to use last names because of the heat on the market.
It's worth a lot more than they think usually. It's worth almost 3 times more than it was just a couple of years ago.
With bullion customers also keeping an eye on the inflated market.
So those are people who want to invest in precious metals. We have some of the stuff here, like this bar here, this 100-ounce bar. Only a couple of years ago was $2,500. Now it's upwards of $10,000.
Probably only retail about 10% of what we're buying right now.
Secondhand stores also seeing an increased desire to sell used jewelry. However, they take a different approach, like melting. As
far as the scrapping of it, yeah, it's very important to our type of business because if we didn't have that outlet, we wouldn't be able to pay as high, because then we'd have to refurbish everything.
With jewelers advising to get your gold and silver appraised.
Gold's gone up almost double in the last year, so if you have a lot of gold sitting at home, it's a really good idea to make sure that it's appraised at the proper current values.
Now, DC Taylor saying you should continue to appraise your gold and silver every 5 to 10 years for insurance purposes, because you never really know how much the piece you could be sitting on. Reporting live, I'm Luke Samard. Sarah, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, thanks for that, Luke. A financial advisor from the Aurelia area who admitted to defrauding 25 people out of their savings heard from his victims before telling the court how and why he went wrong. CTV's Mike Arsolidis reports.
The Crown wants disgraced financial advisor and convicted fraudster Kevin Dowse to spend at least 5.5 years in prison for stealing nearly $2 million from 25 clients, many of them longtime friends and family members who thought Dowse was investing their money. Dowse, now 41, apologized to the court during his sentencing hearing before Justice Craig Brannigan in Barrie. Dowse pleaded guilty last September to defrauding clients between 2016 and 2023 when he worked as a financial advisor in Aurelia. The Crown telling the court Dowse repeatedly lied to his victims, motivated by greed for his own personal benefit, defrauding clients who trusted him to invest their life and retirement savings. The court heard Dowse forged signatures and deposited fraudulent checks into his own bank account. The prosecution is also asking the court to order that Dowse repay $1.3 million in unrecovered funds or face more time in prison. Dowse heard from those he victimized, many fighting back tears as they described having their trust broken and financial futures devastated by someone they thought was looking out for their best interest. One woman telling the court Dowse was the complete opposite of the person he portrayed himself to be. One man telling the court, "We were easy prey. He repeatedly betrayed people's trust for many years," adding, "He stole our security, he stole our retirement, ultimately he stole time from us. We want our money back," demanding banks and financial institutions be better monitored and regulated to prevent this from happening. One couple described Dowse as their life coach and closest friend. "We assumed he was framed," they said. "No one believed Kevin was capable of this." Another person called Dowse's deception a deep betrayal of trust, saying Dowse exploited them in a callous and calculated way. In trying to explain his actions, Dowse said he worked for so many years in a very unhealthy work environment and that trepidation and isolation built up and decimated his mental state and decision-making, saying he shrank under guilt and fear until his judgment was seriously compromised. I am not blaming anyone else for what I did. My actions were what physically took your money. Douse telling the court he has tremendous remorse and debilitating shame for what he did as he continues to seek psychiatric help. Douse is scheduled to be sentenced later this month. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Barrie.
One person has been arrested after a food delivery driver was struck last weekend. Now, police are still looking for witnesses. Police released these two photos of a gray Acura CSX with significant front-end damage. If anyone saw it traveling between Collingwood and Port Elgin on January 31st into February 1st, you're asked to contact OPP. The delivery driver was hit around 8:30 p.m. on January 31st on Grey Road 19. A 31-year-old man from Kitchener was arrested on Thursday. He's been charged with failing to stop at an accident resulting in bodily harm. The County of Simcoe taking another step towards quashing homelessness today with the launch of a new bridge housing facility here in Barrie. Here's CTV's Rob Cooper with more on who it will help and when the services will start.
5 months into the state of emergency declared by the City of Barrie, the goal of this housing project to be another step towards helping those in need.
These folks are going to have somewhere to go to be part of our community and to be able to contribute to their own lives and opportunity going forward.
The much anticipated 40-unit bridge housing project in Barrie is all set to get going. Located next to the former ambulance bay on Tiffin Street, the units are expected to help ensure people with no place to go have more safe options.
Projects like this are how we start to reverse the troubling rise in homelessness across the country.
Ottawa is handing over $1.7 million to help get the bridge housing facility up and running. It'll be run by the County of Simcoe and the Canadian Alliance to End Homelessness. Homelessness in Canada has nearly doubled since 2018. Unsheltered homelessness is up nearly 300%.
This bridge housing program is going to prioritize those folks with the most complex needs, people who have been living for a long time outside in a tent or an encampment. It'll give them a safe and warm place to live.
The new location will give people warm meals and easy access to support with a focus to move them into permanent housing. It has space for 40 people. Each will be placed in their own room, much like this one.
This is the largest modular facility in county's history to serve up to 40 people. But I need to stress, it's not about the 40 people at any given time. It's 40 people as we move them through the system. Get them off the streets, get them out of shelters, give them that hand up.
Really the focus here is you work on yourself and you work on your plan to get permanently housed and get connected to a permanent housing outcome within 12 months.
Now, once operational, the bridge housing program here on Tiffin Street will be 24/7. I'm told it should be open and accepting people sometime in February. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
The snow, along with the strong winds, made travel challenging across our region today. A tractor-trailer jackknife in the southbound lanes of Highway 400 this morning. That was near Bayfield Street. That was around 10 a.m. and blocked the right and middle lanes, causing significant traffic delays. Icy conditions were reported in that area, but no injuries. Now, this rollover happened a little farther south, also on the 400, south of Mapleview Drive. The truck ended up on its side and snarled traffic while the scene was being cleaned up. Drivers in the area at the time tell CTV News the road was icy and there's no word on any injuries. Let's get right into our first look at weather. Oh boy, Case, how are you?
Yes, Sarah, it's all about being prepared, that is for sure. And if you are venturing out this evening, either by foot or in a vehicle, be prepared, and that might mean a number of different, well, shall we say, fashion accoutrements. Let's talk about why Weather Watches and Warnings Board, and I want to draw your attention to this massive amount of, yes, Weather Watches, warnings, cold warning, starting things off for our entire area, -30, -35 with the wind chill, risk of frostbite all, well, this evening and all day tomorrow. A blowing snow warning with winds 70 to 80 k this evening into tomorrow, and a snow squall warning for this evening. And to the left, that little orange piece, yeah, that's a blizzard warning out right on the shores now of Lake Huron. Okay, yes, let's break it down and take a look at what we have to offer you for first weather. Brought to you by our friends at Presler Injury Law. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. Winds are really picking up. It's -4, feels much cooler. Winds are out of the northwest, as mentioned. Gusting as high as 80 kilometers an hour this evening. This is a look at the cold temperatures across our area. I'm going to let you know there is a risk of frostbite throughout our entire evening. right across our region. So let's keep that in mind too if you do have to venture out. This is a look at the radar satellite images over the last 3 hours, and as you can see, a whole lot of active weather in so many ways. And coming up in just a few minutes' time, Sarah, we'll let you know how long this animated weather. We're going to go with animated. It's so much more friendly, and well, we'll just go with that. Animated cold weather is going to persist. All that coming up in just a few minutes' time. Back inside, Sarah.
Thanks, Casey. Now, the city of Barrie has hit an unusual milestone when it comes to snow. It's running out of space where it's usually dumped. As of last night, crews started hauling snow to the landfill on Ferndale Drive after the city's operations center ran out of room. The landfill will now serve as the city's new snow dumping site as removal operations continue across the Barrie area. City staff warn that people living nearby may notice increased overnight noise. The city has been under a significant weather event since December of 28th. That is the longest continuous stretch in Barrie's history. Nature lovers are going to love this. A natural phenomenon found right here in our region. It's called pancake ice.
This is Lock 45 on the Trent Severn Waterways. And this section here, it shows you the ice discs. Some people call them ice pancakes or lily pads.
These circular floating discs form when the lake is cold enough to freeze, but the water is still moving. Tiny ice crystals called frazzle ice clump together, but the constant motion of the water rounds the edges and builds the thick white rim. Then floating pancake-shaped ice discs form.
For me personally, I found it very unique because, again, what I've been told is it has to have the right water movement, the right temperature for this beautiful water ice discs, or ice pancakes people would call it, for it to form. And I've been here 11 years. I personally have never seen it, but I hear that it can occur from time to time when the temperature is cold enough.
Isn't that fascinating? The ice formation usually means a body of water is in the middle of freezing. If the cold temperatures continue long enough, the pancake ice can freeze together into solid ice. A warning tonight: if you've received an email about a red light ticket in Barrie, it's likely a scam. Residents have reported emails that look like they're from the city, claiming a red light camera caught them on the road and they owe a fine. It sounds official, but the city says it isn't. Municipal staff say Barrie doesn't have red light cameras and the team never sends tickets by email. If you do get an email asking you to pay, it could very likely be fake, and city officials say that you are urged to exercise caution. The head of Metrolink says it will be the weekend before full GO train service is restored following that derailment near Union Station that happened on Monday. Trains have been running on a modified schedule since then, when that train derailed and damaged the signal system. In an online post, Metrolink CEO Michael Lindsay says the repair work is largely complete. Lindsay also notes GO train service has continued to ramp up every day since the derailment.
I'd say that we've been trying to communicate to the best of our ability throughout this entire week. And our focus has obviously been, first and foremost, to repair and to recover from the incident that we had on Monday, which we have done. You will have seen the hardworking ladies and gentlemen that have been in the USRC, the Union Station Rail Corridor, fixing switches and signals. They are almost done. We are testing that infrastructure today, and as our communications to media and the public have said, we hope to return to full service tomorrow.
The Ontario Liberals say commuter chaos on Monday and challenges in the following days highlight a need for Metrolinx to improve how it communicates with riders.
Too many passengers were left without clear or consistent information. Riders were left unsure about what was happening, how severe the issue was, and when service could be reasonably expected to resume. These communication gaps left commuters in the dark and created unnecessary stress for hundreds of thousands of people. Now, I know residents understand that incidents can happen and that major disruptions cannot always be predicted. But what people don't accept is being left in the dark when they rely on public transit to get to work or home to their families.
Now, going back to Metrolink CEO Michael Lindsay, he added that improvements were always possible, but the transit agency will continue to be as transparent as it can when it's talking about the GO service and its status. The Ontario Liberal Party is set to reveal the rules for its upcoming leadership race on Monday. Bonnie Crombie officially resigned from the top job last month after getting tepid support from members in a leadership review and the party's third-place finish in last year's election. With no official race underway, candidates haven't been able to officially declare, but MP Yvonne Baker confirmed today that he will not be running. MP Nate Erskine-Smith said he plans to run and hopes to win the provincial seat vacated by NDP MPP Dolly Begum. She's running federally in the riding for the Liberals. Canada's consulate officially opened in Greenland today with a strong showing from a Canadian delegation. Now, although the timing was entirely coincidental, the message to Donald Trump was very clear: to back off. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
This Canadian consulate was promised more than a year ago, and the Foreign Affairs Minister here to open it wouldn't directly answer when I asked her if she was concerned doing so could anger the Trump administration. And with that, the Canadian consulate in Greenland's capital is officially open.
To be able to be here when the people of Greenland are concerned and anxious is wonderful.
More than 100 people here, including members of the Coast Guard and a large number of Canadian Inuit who want to show they support Greenlanders in the face of Donald Trump's threats.
It's quite emotional. It's a great feeling. It's good to be here. Unity, Inuit, together, standing united.
As Inuit, we are one people. Doesn't matter which country we're from, we're all the same.
Now, Global Affairs Canada won't let us inside to actually show you what the interior of the consulate looks like, but we know that the Government of Canada shares this building with Iceland. There are not many countries that have a consulate here in Nuuk. France is also opening one.
I say congratulations to Canada. I think it's a smart move.
Many in Greenland still feel uneasy, even though the Trump administration has backed off threats to take over. CTV News asked a retired U.S. diplomat involved in the opening of the American consulate in Nuuk during the first Trump administration whether Canada's increased presence now could anger Trump.
Well, I think it's worth it. I mean, I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a move that should be taken as threatening by the United States, certainly in any way.
While the consulate was promised more than a year ago, there is still no permanent consul in place here. The Foreign Affairs Minister didn't have much to offer about that. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Nuuk, Greenland.
For the first time, the Winter Olympics opening ceremony was a multi-site event spread across northern Italy. CTV's Scott Hurst has the details now on the celebration of sport, Team Canada, and the first events of the day.
More than 200 Canadian athletes are stepping onto the world stage. Led by flag bearers, Quebec's Michael Kingsbury and BC's Marielle Thompson, both athletes, previous Olympic champions, as Canada's team eyes more podium appearances. The opening ceremony is a stunning display of culture and sport, with the host nation always mixing in its own flavor, and Italy sure has a rich history to show off as Milano Cortina welcomes the world. And for the first time in Olympic history, the ceremony takes place across multiple venues in separate cities in a widespread yet unified event, with San Siro Olympic Stadium in Milan serving as the central hub.
They'll emphasize Italy, naturally. Music, dance, arts, they have a lot to work with.
Even before the pomp and ceremony to officially kick off 17 days of sport and spectacle, Canadian athletes have already begun making their mark. Quebec's Francis Jobin soaring into the Big Air final. He'll have a shot at the podium on Saturday in his Olympic debut. The husband and wife mixed doubles curling team of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant are now 3-1, winning their first 3 matches before falling to the Americans. And Canadians sit 5th after day 1 of the Olympic figure skating team event. The competition kicks into high gear tomorrow with the first medals being awarded. And after the first match was postponed on Thursday, the Canadian women's hockey team will begin its pursuit of back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
What an exciting weekend it's going to be. Right now, though, coming up next on CTV Barrie, support cute animals, get a cupcake. When the OSPCA is bringing back its sweet incentive to raise record amounts of money. Plus, grab your skates and mark your calendar. Saturday in the Sunshine City, how this thoughtful group of seniors have done it again. You're watching CTV Barrie. Thanks for staying with us. Back by popular demand, free outdoor skating thanks to seniors in the Sunshine City.
The lake is here, it's frozen nicely, and we want to give people an opportunity to ski outdoors as historically was done by many Canadians. I lived on a farm where we would walk back in the fields where there was a pond, and we have some wooden planks to make a scraper, and that was our ice rink.
Love that they're back. This natural rink is nestled in Brewery Bay on the Leacock Museum National Historic Site and is maintained by a small group of seniors who volunteer and have made this part of their seasonal routine.
When our people come out here, they're just amazed. They're at the location, the beautiful scenery, the view across the lake in the wintertime. Sometimes they can see the ice huts from here, and they're just amazed, that this is here for Aurelians.
Slightly smaller this year because of the huge amount of snow in Aurelia, but this beauty of an outdoor skating rink at Brewery Bay opens on Saturday. It is one of the sweetest days of the year for the Ontario SPCA, and it's a sweetness that you can be a part of.
You need to thank your Aunt Kathy Cakes for that.
Cupcake Day is clearly a favorite for Sheriff. That's that little guy there. Now, on Monday, February 23rd, it can be your favorite, too. All donations made to the Ontario SPCA. All of the locations will be met with a delicious cupcake for you to enjoy. Last year, Cupcake Day across the province raised more than $153,000 to help little friends like Sheriff enjoy a better tomorrow.
All initiatives like Cupcake Day are great because last year it helped us adopt out over 6,300 animals into their loving forever homes.
Cupcake Day is February 23rd, and it looks like it's going to be delicious. So does that little puppy, so cute. The greatest little show on snow returns to Clearview Township for a 51st year. Sunnydale Winterama has celebrated outdoor activities since 1975 in the village of New Lowell, and thanks to volunteers known as Friends of Winterama, the multi-day event features contests for best snow sculpture photo and even beard growing.
This year we have a massive tubing slide that kids can come and enjoy. As well, we have a whole bunch of snowmobile events, so we call it our Snowmageddon. So we will have lots of different snowmobiles on display here for people to check out.
It is a long-standing winter activity in the township. It means a lot to us that has been going on so long, and it brings the people out in the dead of winter. We are a tiny community and we celebrate the cold.
Now, the festival was supposed to begin tonight with the burning of the green and fireworks, but it's been postponed until next Friday because of the wind. This is going to be a busy weekend ahead, and if you are looking to keep tabs on everything that's happening around Simcoe County and Muskoka, that can always be done on our website. We update that daily, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or scan that QR code on the screen. Still to come, battling for a spot on the national stage. Mixed curling teams from across the province are leaving it all on the ice in Collingwood. That's in just a few, but right now let's head outside. Case.
At Barrie Winterfest tomorrow, Sarah, there's going to be a kite demonstration. If these high winds continue, we could have people airborne. And we know it's going to be cold. Our weather watcher artiste, have a look. Yeah. River says, I'm one frozen river building this big snowman out back. Well done. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Picture this. Brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Well, I love a good crackling fire, but that last shot, that was our choice for Picture of the Week. A cozy congrats to Kyla Russell. Now, because next week is leading up to the Day of Love, we'd like to see your Valentine. Whether it's your partner, your child, your pet, whatever you love, pies, pickles, snap those photos. Picture this at ctv.ca. Let's head back outside. Boy, Case, I can't wait for this hour to be done so you can come inside. You look like you're ready for the slopes, so at least.
That's right, I am ready for the slopes, or maybe just to go for a walk, because this is what you're going to need. Bundled up, complete with goggles for a walk on a night like this evening. And the reason why? Well, weather watches and warnings, please. And as you can see, yeah, it is a very colorful start to our weekend in the form of cold warning. -30 to -35 is what we're looking at across our region. Risk of frostbite this evening and into tomorrow. Blowing snow warning. Yes, wind speed 70 to 80 k right through this evening into tomorrow, and a snow squall warning for this evening. That's a mouthful, isn't it? This is a look at the current temperature outside your door with the wind chill. I'll let you know that this evening's wind chill anywhere from -34, -35. That's what Environment Canada's talking about. This is what we're talking about as far as the almanac goes for today. And it's going to get a whole lot colder than this. We're looking at record temperatures back in 1873, 10 degrees, and -31.7 back in 1885. I do believe we're going to be a little chillier than that when you factor in the wind chill. Sunrise, sunset, how about 10 hours and 7 minutes of daylight? The forecast radar. And as you can see, we're not dealing with an enormous amount of snow, but what is on the ground is blowing, and we do have some additional snow on the way. I will mention, too, that on the shores of Lake Huron, they're looking at a blizzard warning. So we're not there yet, and with any luck, we avoid that one. But let's break it down, take a look at some of the numbers. Southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe, overnight, -34 with the wind chill. Flurries, well, amounting to about 5 centimeters of snow. There is a risk of frostbite, and the winds out of the northwest, 60 to 80 k. For tomorrow, a high, ladies and gentlemen, of -16, but we're anticipating it to feel about -27 with the wind chill tomorrow afternoon. Mainly cloudy skies, pretty good chance of a few flurries kicking around. There is a risk of frostbite, and the winds will die down ever so slightly, but not much. Let's take us to Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill. Overnight, -34 with the wind chill, mainly cloudy, flurries, about 2 centimeters, according to Environment Canada. There is a risk of frostbite, and the winds, yeah, they're gusty, up to 80 k out of the northwest. For tomorrow, -15, -16, mainly cloudy skies, slight chance of some flurries, risk of frostbite, very cool into the afternoon. Make that cold in the afternoon, and the winds, 30 to 70 k out of the northwest. The northern part of our viewing area, Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, -35 with the wind chill, 2 to 5 centimeters of snow expected this evening. Risk of frostbite right across our region this evening and again tomorrow, where we're seeing temperatures of -15, -18, but they're going to be feeling like -28 when you factor in the wind chill. Hey, good news is it's a sun and cloud mix, so that's looking rather lovely, isn't it? Try and find the positive. Yes, that's tonight and tomorrow. Now, time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast, and here we go. 5-day extended forecast, Simcoe County. The rest of the weekend, you say? Well, okay, Sunday. We're looking at temperatures a little milder, not much, but a little milder. Sun, cloud, slight chance of flurries. Monday arrives. Here comes lots of cloud cover, 60% chance of snow. On Tuesday, 30% chance of snow. We are getting much milder, -4, -3 by Wednesday, cloudy and slight chance of a few flurries. This is the 5-day extended forecast for York Region. Sunday, sunny skies, -11, -18. That's the high, that's low. Here comes the cloud cover. Owning the skies Monday and Tuesday, 40 and a 30% chance of flurry activity, -8, -3. We're getting milder, -1 by Wednesday, and a slight chance of a few flurries kicking around. 5-day extended forecast, Muskoka, Parry Sound, Halliburton. Sunday looks gorgeous. It really does. Crisp and cool. Yes, sunny skies, -13, -22, the high, the low. Monday and Tuesday, cloudy, slight chance of some flurry activity on the Monday, -9, -4. Come Tuesday, and Wednesday, cloudy and a 30% chance of some flurries. So yes, we know it's cold, there's no doubt about that, but it certainly didn't dampen the spirits for a very special celebration for a very special lady today. Have a look.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Annie.
Yes, special birthday wishes at Bayhaven Care Community Center in Collingwood for beautiful Ann and Malcolm. There she is, who turns 109 years old tomorrow. Congratulations! She has 4 siblings, 7 children, 18 grandchildren, 34 great-grandchildren, 6 great-great-grandchildren, and the recipe for longevity: number 1, hard work; number 2, humor; and number 3, Sarah, a close and loving family. Very well done. Happy birthday, Annan. Sarah.
A very happy birthday from all of us here on the CTV Barrie team. The best mixed doubles curlers in Ontario are in Collingwood, fighting to represent the province at nationals.
Welcome, good luck, and good curling, everybody.
The opening ceremony kicked off the provincial mixed doubles curling championships on Thursday night. 64 matches will be played over the next 4 days. 24 teams from across southern Ontario. It is the first time Collingwood has hosted the event, a chance to put the town on the map for curling.
We have an exceptional club. We have a lot of volunteers. We have curling ice that is recognized as some of the best ice in the province. So there's always a desire for competitions here, because the curlers know that they are going to have exceptional conditions to curl.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here. I've actually never played at the curling club here in Collingwood, so seems like a great venue. The ice was fantastic out there, so we're just really excited to keep playing here all weekend.
The team who comes out on top will head to the National Mixed Doubles Championship. Still to come, Canada's unemployment rate dropped last month, but so did the amount of jobs. We'll take a closer look at the economy and what's behind those numbers. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Please do stay with us. Recapping our top stories, as gold and silver stocks continue to inflate, so does the willingness of people to cash in. Secondhand stores also seeing an increased desire to sell used jewelry. However, they take a different approach, like melting it. Experts advise getting your gold and silver appraised. The Crown wants disgraced financial advisor and convicted fraudster Kevin Dowse to spend at least 5.5 years in prison for stealing nearly $2 million from 25 clients. Dowse pleaded guilty to defrauding clients when he worked as a financial advisor in Aurelia and is scheduled to be sentenced later this month. And Ottawa is handing over $1.7 million to help get the Bridge housing facility open in Barrie. It will be run by the County of Simcoe and the Canadian Alliance to End Homelessness. The much-anticipated 40-unit Bridge housing program on Tiffin Street will be operational 24/7. Drivers in Springwater may see some delays on Highway 26 due to a malfunctioning railway crossing. Township officials say the crossing will require emergency repairs. Motorists are being asked to avoid that area and use alternate roads. They're also being asked to obey all posted signage and never cross railway tracks when warning signals are active or when crews are working on repairing it. Canada's employment rate dropped slightly in January to 6.5%, despite the loss of about 25,000 jobs across the country. It marks the first net loss of jobs nationwide since August of last year. CTV's Heather Wright explains what's behind those numbers.
The hits keep coming for manufacturing, especially in Ontario, the province which saw the largest number of job losses last month, according to Statistics Canada. Overall, Canada's economy lost nearly 25,000 jobs in January, while the unemployment rate fell to 6.5%, a result of fewer people looking for work. And while Alberta, Saskatchewan, as well as Newfoundland and Labrador all gained jobs, Ontario was hit hard, losing a whopping 67,000 jobs last month. That includes roughly 1,200 workers at the General Motors plant in Oshawa, Ontario, where last week the company cut one of its 3 shifts.
I think we're seeing it in the sectors that we were expecting to see. For example, manufacturing is still suffering job losses, and we're starting to see public administration jobs in public administration decline, and those impacts obviously more centered in Ontario.
Economists say the report is not all bad news, as the majority of job losses were in part-time jobs, while the number of full-time positions grew.
So the split of 45,000 full-time jobs being created is very good. So that kind of offsets the headline.
Underlying this jobs report, however, is persistent uncertainty.
I think tough times are here for a while yet. We need to see some resolution here, some certainty around what will be the access to U.S. consumers, so important for Canadian manufacturing.
With CUSMA, the free trade agreement with the United States and Mexico, up for review this year, many businesses holding off on hiring and investing, waiting to see the outcome of those trade talks. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Automotive company Stellantis is selling its stake in an Ontario-based electric vehicle battery manufacturing plant. The move would see the automaker selling its stake to its partner, transferring ownership of the Next Star Energy plant to LG Energy Solution. The plant employs over 1,300 workers. Stellantis says it is expecting to remain as a customer and will continue to source battery products from the plant. Moving right into the markets, the TSX was up 476 points, the Dow was up 1,206, and the Nasdaq was up 490, and commodities, oil was up, closing at $63.55 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing at $4,979 an ounce, and our dollar up, ending the day at 73.27 cents U.S. Tonight marks the start of a very busy weekend for our Barrie Colts. 3 games and 3 nights. It's all going to start in Brampton tonight as Barrie travels to take on the Steelheads. Puck drop is in less than 20 minutes. The Colts will then come back to Barrie tomorrow night to host the North Bay Battalion. That game, 7:30. 2 teams will then play the second of a back-to-back in North Bay at 2 p.m. Barrie remains in first place in the Central Division, but are 6 points back of Brantford for first place in the Eastern Conference. Longtime Blue Jays announcer Buck Martinez has announced his retirement. The former big league catcher called over 4,000 Blue Jays games over 40-plus decades in the booth. The 77-year-old from California first joined the Jays as a player in 1981 and spent his final 6 seasons with Toronto. He also managed the Blue Jays in the early 2000s. Martinez was diagnosed with cancer in 2022 and took a leave of absence from April to July that year while undergoing treatment. After a quiet trade deadline day, the Toronto Raptors were looking to get back in that win column, hosting the Chicago Bulls last night.
3-point games or less. Here's Mamu, big time 3. He's got 15.
The Raps got a big game from Brandon Ingram, who scored 33 points on the 16-point win. The team will be back on the court on Sunday to play the Indiana Pacers, who currently sit last in the Eastern Conference. Okay, let's talk Sunday. The Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots are ramping up for Super Bowl 60. Drake May, who finished as runner-up for the Most Valuable Player award, practicing alongside his teammates at the Rose Bowl. He led the Patriots to a 14-3 record, winning their division. Despite the success, the Pats are considered underdogs against the upstart Seahawks led by Sam Darnold. They haven't lost a game since mid-November. You can watch Super Bowl 60 on the main CTV network, TSN, and stream it on Crave. It starts at 6 p.m. this Sunday. Many of us, of course, going for the halftime show, which is Bad Bunny. Now, animals at the Toronto Zoo, they're getting in on the Super Bowl excitement as well. This one placing a prediction on who it thinks will win. I love when they do these types of things. This is Butters, a great horned owl. He's picking the Patriots to beat the Seahawks in Sunday's big game. As you can see, he didn't even have to think about it. And if you haven't made your pick yet, owls are known to be quite wise. I don't know how much money I'd put on it, though. Still to come, covering all over Italy at the Winter Olympics. Next on CTV Barrie, we'll take a closer look at the 4 locations that are hosting events. That's next.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And next week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Paul Simon live in concert.
So make sure you're listening 5:30 to 10 for your
Time now to take a look at your Friday night primetime lineup. Our CTV2 movie is In the Heights, and it starts at 8, followed by CTV News Barrie at 11 p.m. Welcome back. The 2026 Olympic Games had 2 opening ceremonies and have 2 cauldrons because athletes are spread throughout northern Italy, spending the next 17 days competing for gold. The distance makes these games not only unique, but historic in its setup. CTV's Heather Butts has more on how it works for athletes and spectators.
Meeting this crew from the Netherlands, already a highlight for Ontario's Marga Wilson during her Olympic experience.
Bucket list, definitely. To see all the different athletes from all the different countries is so exciting.
The Olympic motto, after all, is about celebrating the unifying power of sport.
I'm hoping Canada goes gold, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you met some Czech hockey player at the airport yesterday. So you did wish him luck, but secretly he said not too much luck.
A unique aspect of these games is how spread out the events are. Organizers wanted to use existing infrastructure as much as possible, but this means no central hub.
It's missing a little bit of snow, to be honest. Canada would be better to host them, but it's nice to be in the city. I feel like in the mountains will feel like more of the Winter Olympics here.
I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more like fan zones here, and I didn't quite see that, but maybe they're just spread out more through like Cortina and Livigno, so we'll see.
Competitions are taking place all over northern Italy, making this the most widespread Olympic sports setup in history. The games will span over 22,000 square kilometers. A trip between Milan and Cortina could take upwards of 6 hours. It means not all of Team Canada's athletes will be in the same village or region throughout the games.
You know, giving a high five to an athlete in another sport, or even the gentle smile when you're under such pressure, can make a huge difference.
Olympic champion and Canada chef de mission Jennifer Heil admits it will be a different experience, but the team is turning to technology with video chats and highlight reels to help unite them.
I think there's a trade-off between, you know, the positive and the negative. I think for the Olympic movement, it's very positive that we're going to venues that already exist that make it more sustainable and easier to host.
The last time Italy hosted the Winter Games in Turin 2006, medal ceremonies were held in the center of the city each day, creating a buzz, adding to the Olympic spirit. Because of the distance, this year, medal ceremonies will be held at the venues following the competitions. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
Whew, Casey. I was going to say what a weekend it's going to be between the Olympics and the Super Bowl. Gosh, should I even ask who you're cheering for, or do we just want to get through this?
Oh, yes, the Super Bowl. Well, hey, Jack Morris, he told me, he said, you got to be on board with the Patriots. You got to be on board. Jack's a huge football fan. I'm going to go with the Patriots. We'll find out who you're all about very soon. Let's talk about the Get Up and Go forecast, though. First thing, what are we looking at tomorrow morning? Well, look at the whirly thing in the background there. It's blowing like crazy. First thing tomorrow morning, well, fair skies right across the board. That's sun and cloud. Might see a few flurries coming down in Barrie, and minus 20 right across the board. Have yourself a fantastic evening and a better tomorrow. Go Patriots, Sarah!
I don't know. We're hearing a lot of booing here in the newsroom for the Patriots, but me, I don't have a side. I'm there for the good snacks and the halftime show. I'm Sarah Freemark. Thanks so much for spending this week with us. Have a fantastic Friday night and a even better weekend. Good night.